Does anybody have a question ringing in their head that they just didn't ask, but they probably need to ask now?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so very much. Thank you. This was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, because me and you talk.
Yes.
And so I appreciate because you hear me.
Yes.
And I like that you said we have to get away from the politics. I've been doing a little traveling. Have anybody tried to reach out to Secretary of Health, Linda McMahon? Have anybody? Because there is money, and they want to help. They want to come to Flint. They want to help. They want to invest. They do. I was in a meeting. They do. Reach out. Reach out. Because we have to work across the aisles. And thank you. I got your video. Do I have permission to share it?
Yes, you can.
They want to help. They do. They do. They talk to me. They told me. Reach out to them. Because this is Flint. This is about our kids. This is about y'all. We believe in y'all. But they do want to help. Reach out to them, please. They want to invest. And thank you for listening to me. And this was wonderful. Thank you.
Anybody else got a question in the back of their mind?
Hello, my name is Laterica Stigall. I grew up in Flint. I went to school where there was special education, and it was wonderful. Like, I went to Northern, where one of our classes where we would go and work with the special education students in our building. We had the neighborhood house, we had the lunch programs, and it's like, I understand we have to do programs in the school, but the programs in the community bounce off the programs in the school. It involves the parents. The parents don't volunteer anymore.
Yeah.
Half of the cafeteria workers were your parents. The volunteers in class were your parents. The volunteers in the library was your parents.
Absolutely.
So, like you said, with the parents maybe not having the education they should have, do you think there's a way to incorporate programs into the school that educate the parents that may have been the children who didn't get IEPs, who parents were ashamed that maybe there's something wrong with my child and I don't want to be the family member that has to have something wrong with my child? Or, just basically the dynamic of Flint is we don't support each other anymore. We don't have we had parent support.
Yes.
When we were in school. Like, now it's
I
like
remember.
the parents, school is the daycare center. And as long as they're not in their face, they're not concerned about what they're doing.
A lot of them traumatized too. They
Yes.
traumatized. But thank you for sharing that, asking that question. But parent collaborative, parent ambassadors, every site has a parent ambassador group at their school. So get with your community school director. And that's Stiegel wife, y'all. Get with Miss Newman. She'll work it out. Go to your community school director, wherever you're at, and ask about parent ambassadors and parent collaborative. It's just a QR code with a few questions on it, and you can get information on how to solve issues. Community school director and principals can't solve everything. Some things are systematic, but parent collaborative will help walk you through the proper, channels of how we can make a difference. So, get with your community school director. Anybody else got it? Can we take a couple more?
Yep.
Okay.
Hi. So thank you for saying that. I was actually going to say that too, because that's a lot of the issue. Our parents are uneducated. It's not that it's their fault, right? And so when they're uneducated, for them, school for their kids is not important, and their main priority is making sure they have food on the table, that they have clothes on their back, and those are their priorities. So school, like you said, is like a daycare center. And so I work at International, and we have parent meetings twice a month. And we have one of our parents, she's not here, but she's a part of the Flint Collaborative as well. And she also comes to our parent meetings that we have for our students, for our parents, excuse me. And we also have done a parent retreat, just trying to get our parents involved in what's going on in the school, like you said, because we need that support. We have opportunities for our parents to volunteer. They're not signing up. They're not coming to our meetings. I feel like this year we've had a lot more come to our meetings. which is great. And it's like, okay, we want to be able to, we have the Title I meeting, so parents can be educated on what's going on in the schools, what's the test scores, what are they saying, and different things like that. I heard you all speak about the dyslexia. We talked about that in the, we talked about the law that's being passed. I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous, but we definitely, I feel, and I'm a parent of a special education student myself, and like we were talking about in the parent engagement, and that's kind of my title, what I do actually, I go on family and community engagement advocate. So just advocating for the parents. I love coming to this. This was amazing. I was excited to be here. When I came in the room, I wasn't sure what I was going to expect, but I was excited to come in the room and just have those conversations about parent engagement and what that looks like and how we can engage our parents and educate our parents. Because you're absolutely right. It starts with the parents, but if they don't have the education, they're not focused on that. They're focused on, okay, you got somewhere to live. You got a warm bed. Somebody else don't got that. So go to school if they're going to do it. And it does absolutely start with parenting at home. But if I don't know what to look for, I can't look for it. You guys are awesome.
Good. Hi, I'm Tanessa Betts. I work for the Flint Center with Sharice. I'm actually the manager of Family Partnerships, which is our parent ambassador program. So all of y'all who are interested in that, please connect with your community school directors. They'll be connecting with me and I'll be assisting with that. So great stuff. The one thing that I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said was the question on, we know it starts at home. And I'm saying for everybody, so even if you're not a parent, but I think everybody except for one is parents. What is your advice, your encouragement of how to connect with parents? Start with you as the individual, right? I'm not asking for you to say the most popular thing, because that don't work for everybody. But what was it that inspired you as a parent or as a non-parent, but friend, uncle, cousin, whoever, to want to make it a priority for what children need to be what's most important, specifically around special education and IEPs? That's my first question.
That is a good question. And I'm gonna keep my word to a few parents that I speak to. And I've been to Atlanta, Texas, you name it, I've been there. I think words we use should be carefully. You know what parents tell me? They are sick and tired of you guys saying they are uneducated. They cannot teach their kids. So you create that animosity, assuming that because my zip code or my incomes say I'm too ignorant to be in an environment like this. I was a single parent in Detroit on the east side, and my zip code determined my success. Every parent that you know probably can read. So this is the message I give you guys. They said, that's why I don't want to be bothered with you, because you already said they can't read. The problem they have, they're struggling. Children are a blessing, and because they came in different ways and came into this world, they still have a community. And they don't like being, because I'm a single mom, I'm single. You're not single, because it takes two to make a baby. So I always tell them, no, you're not single. Right now, you're just raising a child by yourself. And that's what irritated them. We have to stop saying we don't feed our kids. They don't feed their kids. That's irritating them. So they don't want to be bothered with your educational system. We have to stop saying that. What we have to do is create an environment where everybody can participate. And I have that problem. I went to Atlanta. I said, you guys having the same problem you're having in Flint. Texas, you're having the same problem. And your zip code does not determine your achievement. You have a voice. But we have to make that language a little bit different. I find it heartbreaking when you say they're uneducated. They might be where we at, but they had jobs, right about now, they had jobs that nobody wants. When we have these programs, who's in the room? It's not they're somewhere lazy, they're somewhere surviving. But like the gentleman said, raise a child the way it should go. I was a single parent. I never had to go to a PTA. I didn't have to go to conference. My kid did what they're supposed to do because I started them in early education. I did early education for 20 years, abundance of love. And when I look in the community, every one of those children that I meet has succeeded because it is up to these early childhood education to really get down and teach these kids. It's not a babysitter. My kids could read and write and leave pre-K and go to kindergarten or can skip. So we have to put that burden back on. I leave my kids in an institution because I have to work. That early childhood institution is responsible for making sure that the basic, you're 3 or 4 years old, can't even say your name. So that's not just blaming on single parent. I would like to look at Dr. Tunnicliffe. It's our early education. You call them daycares. Things have changed now. And so that'll help the parent a lot. So I would give homework in my daycare. I would have after school at risk program. When I pick them up, I give them things to do. I check your homework. So we just can't bear this on children because you're not blessing. So I just think that watch what we say out there, and I hope they hear me because they told me to tell you guys stop calling them uneducated. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as I took the question, what my experience as a parent has caused me to engage?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have an 8-year-old daughter, I have a 3-year-old son, and I'd say a short answer and then I'll explain. The thing that caused me to engage as a parent is love. Okay? And maybe I'll use my son as an example. So my wife and I, super engaged in our kids in our home. As our kids grow, we're constantly checking you go to the pediatrician and they give you those sheets with your achievements, and we're always monitoring that and checking, are they going at the right pace? Well, as we were going through that, we were a little concerned that our son was not meeting the achievements in the times that he should meet the achievements. And so we're like, we tried to investigate, okay, is there something? And we got pointed to early on, and we signed him up with early on, and have people come in to engage with us, coach us, help us, have strategies to try to give him a little extra support. And we feel now today he's at his places where his milestones. Yeah, thank you. That's the right word. And I feel that early on helped us a ton. But it was, so what got us to engage in that was just us being really concerned about our kids and watching them and wanting them to be successful and being able to figure out, we need to go to early on when we had a concern. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll just say, early on was wonderful, so thank you. Everybody here and Steve who's done work on that program.
Early on is phenomenal.
It is.
And what you said about love, that is key. That's why I said we have to love on them. But when somebody, that love will allow you to give that mother the information about early on, because a lot of parents don't know, okay, your child's still not babbling yet, or your child's still not crawling yet. They're missing the milestones. Here's the number to early on. Call so they can have your child assessed to see it might not be autism. It could be just a developmental delay.
Right.
But still,
Right.
see what it is so that they can get those resources and catch up if it's a developmental delay. So when you see something that's happening, look inside to see, have enough love for your community member to say, she's struggling in this area. Maybe I'll suggest early on to her, or maybe I'll suggest this resource. The community health worker maybe has a resource that can help her or something. Just take that extra step. That one little thing might change her whole trajectory at that school with her kid as far as engaging with the school and the education of her child. We never know, so that love is definitely key. We gotta love ourselves, we gotta love our neighbor, we gotta love our community, because love is stronger than all the other negative things that's coming against us. So that's all I have to say.
All right, Mike, last question. So, go
Just
ahead.
really, really quick. I'm not gonna be long at all, but you mentioned, sharing, information. So if anybody says, I think I have a friend that maybe needs to hear that, 591 KIDS, KIDS. 591 KIDS, you don't have to remember early on, or you don't have to remember all these different entities. 591 KIDS, it is their job to then start following through, asking those questions. So you, really all you have to remember is that, and say, hey, you might wanna call 591 KIDS, and that can start the process forward. Simple solution to help, and I shouldn't have said solution, simple next step to help a parent who might be in need.
And then my last question is regarding the comment on the dyslexia law for help. So you may not be able to answer this question, but I want to put it out there. We have a lot of adults who deal with dyslexia who are not diagnosed, who have children, who are trying to get assistance, and it is very, very hard to find resources. Is there a possibility in the future that there will be some funding that can help adults? I think it's great that is happening for K-3. I think it's what I heard, but it would be lovely if it could expand to helping adults also who deal with that, who probably are parents or caretakers of children.
Okay, so that's in the atmosphere now, so we're gonna have to figure out something for dyslexia for adults.
Well, I mean, just to clarify, I don't think there was any piece that dealt with adult dyslexia in the legislation. It was purely through, for kids. But I hear what you're saying.
All right, let's give our panelists a round of applause, please. And all the attendees today, let's give yourselves, everyone, a round of applause. Thank you.